How do you capture self-confidence when switching jobs? Well, for a lot of us, we have to get to a place where we decide that it's even worth thinking about switching a job. It's a big deal, and it can be pretty stressful. You might have grown up with a pro and con list. I know I was taught to do it. Pros of doing this, pros of not doing this. But there's an elevated technique for this that I want to teach you as a mental health therapist. Instead of just a pro and con list, now we have a 4-quadrant system for decision making. In the case of switching jobs, you now have 4 boxes that you're going to fill out. Box 1 is the pros of staying in the job you have. Box 2 is the cons of staying in the job you have. Box 3 is the pros of switching jobs. And box 4 is the cons of switching jobs. So by having all 4 boxes, we now have a more robust perspective of what we're taking into consideration, what risks there are, and if it's worth taking those risks. If you're familiar with the quadrant, you know the next step is to actually weigh out each of the things that show up in each box. Maybe a pro of staying is that we have seniority, so we have a pretty good rate of pay. Maybe a pro is that we could get benefits in 5 years. Maybe a con of staying is that the workplace morale is not so good. Maybe a con of switching is that you're afraid of change. Maybe a pro of switching is that you could get better pay or better work-life balance, a better schedule with your family. So once you have everything written into each of the 4 boxes, you're going to weigh them out by percentage, where the total items in each box equal 100%. Notice which ones have the most weight. That's going to help you with your decision making. If you find yourself still very self-confident about switching jobs, you now have this information behind the scenes to remind you when self-doubt creeps in. Speaking of self-doubt, if you find that happens, you're human. And it's important to have someone in your corner who can rally and cheerlead for you when you feel like you're not quite there. Lastly, have a mantra. When you're getting ready to interview for that new job, make sure that you have a mantra or word that really captures your enthusiasm and keeps you present in the meeting. So check out these techniques and hopefully your self-confidence will grow.